On Monday, May 26th, the city of Liverpool declared a major incident when sadly a car had ploughed into a group of people. In what was billed as the biggest celebration in recent times, over 50,000 Liverpool Football Club supporters descended on Allerton, the south of the city. People had travelled far and wide. Some came from London, Newcastle, Scotland. Some people even took a flight to the UK, coming from Denmark, America, Copenhagen, in order to watch Liverpool Football Club lift the Premier League trophy in the parade. These were men, women and children that wanted to share the victory. A collective group of people had come together to chant "You'll Never Walk Alone" and to see their football club, as I said, lift the Premier League trophy. Sadly, one man turned such a joyous day into one of chaos and shock and trauma and bitterness, when allegedly a 53-year-old man had driven his car through a stretch of road that was blockaded and then ploughed into over 100 people, leaving 65 people injured at least. Before the carnage, Liverpool head coach Arne described the celebration as he headed towards the city. "You can't compare this with anything. Every age is here. You look into their eyes," he said. "You can hardly imagine there are more citizens of Liverpool. It's beyond my dreams." Then the mood turned sour and morphed into an outlandish nightmare. With the red double-decker bus travelling southward past the Albert Docks, Water Street, the streets still brimming with tens of thousands of supporters, a Ford Galaxy car appeared. The road was closed off by a blockade, but that blockade was lifted to allow an ambulance to pass through in order to attend to a person whom was suffering from a heart attack. The Ford Galaxy then allegedly followed behind the ambulance. This happened at 6 p.m. Moments before the car lurched forward, fans had swarmed the car immediately, banging on the windows and the door panel and the bonnet and also the boot, trying to get the driver's attention. Now that car was swarmed. The action seemed to have had the opposite effect because allegedly the football fans were just trying to get the car's attention to tell him that you can't be driving here, the road's closed off. But the car then sped up, reversed backwards and then drove forward in the direction of the Strand, swerving as it made contact with Liverpool Football Club supporter after Liverpool Football Club supporter after Liverpool Football Club supporter. You get the drift. The entire incident was recorded and then sadly posted onto the internet for people to view. Now people had their own reactions. Some were distressed, some were angry. Now this was classed as a major incident. Now by the time the Ford Galaxy came to a stop, at least 4 people were rooted underneath that car, trapped, shouting, screaming, in immeasurable pain. According to witnesses, they described a car coming through the crowd that just refused to stop. The car at one point was being chased by a group of men who were trying to bang on the side of the car and chuck any item that they could find at it. So far, it's been reported that the car had been driven at a speed of roughly 20 miles per hour. Now, initially, before the collision, people assumed the car had come through the Strand by mistake and was heard beeping his horn as he went through the crowd. Now, people thought that he was beeping because he was impatient and just wanted to get to his destination. But at the moment the car increased its maximum speed, it went onto the pavement before going back onto the road. It was then that fans knew that something was very seriously wrong. So far, 50 people have been treated in hospital. 11 of them are still in hospital now, and at least 4 people, 2 said to be children, are suffering from serious injuries. But so far, their condition is considered stable, thankfully. After the incident occurred, trains had been cancelled and people took to the mobile phones to upload footage of them being stranded, abandoned effectively. They were outside hotels or eateries, some were even in alleyways, and they were scared, still in shock, traumatized, and again angry. Some Liverpool fans actually recorded themselves sitting outside the hotels with a caption that says, "Shame on you," with the specific hotel name because the doors were locked. However, unfortunately, despite the major incident, it's not hotels' jobs to actually keep people on their premises when they have paying guests inside. So, fast forward 2 hours later, police did not want another Southport incident, so they made a decision to quickly release details about the man who was allegedly behind the wheel of the Ford Galaxy, again within 2 hours after the incident. By 53 minutes past 7 pm, Merseyside police emailed out a press release, including the suspect's age, nationality, and ethnicity, and were very firm in explaining that the suspect is actually from the Liverpool area too. Merseyside police acted very quickly to stamp out any speculation on social media that had caused real consternation, according to Liverpool Mayor Steve Rotherham. Now, police noted that the suspect is a 53-year-old white British man from Liverpool. However, some fans have been dubious to the information given. Now, the incident is being classed as isolated, and so far, police are not looking for anyone else in connection with this. In order to confirm the decision, police took a load of witness statements, checked CCTV to find out where the Ford Galaxy had travelled from, and also conducted a background search on the suspect. Police have also said that this is not tea-related, and now is a time for people that should continue to come together. Acting quickly, a day after the incident, the charges have now been wrapped up against the 53-year-old man who was arrested soon after. As to their kind of condition, whether they made it out that car okay or if they suffered injuries, who knows. The Liverpool man who drove his Ford Galaxy into a crowd that was celebrating the parade has been charged with attempted suspicion of driving while unfit through DRA, and also dangerous driving. Now, without going into specifics, so many videos have been released that shows different parts of the interaction between the Ford Galaxy and the Liverpool supporters. First and foremost, the driver of the car should not have gained access to the Strand area. That's a given. Before the chaos began, the car was swarmed by supporters. In one video, you can see the Ford Galaxy attempt to reverse, but he can't because he's being swarmed by people. People then banged on his car in almost all directions, boot the back window, and then the car nearly reversed into a man. Well, it actually did reverse into a man. Without being biased, the suspect could be just a horrible person who tried to commit a devious and horrible crime and should be jailed for their actions for the longest time possible. But on the other hand, did the driver react, speed up due to being afraid, or overwhelmed by the hostile situation he found himself in due to a mistake? Who knows? That's for the police to decide through the investigation. Either way, you can only hope for full recovery for the men, women and children injured, and hopefully there's no PTSD or lasting trauma. We'll then see what happens to the 53-year-old suspect when more information is given. Let me know your thoughts on the incident in the comments. Stay safe.